Hi, this is Janie Imani and welcome to Emotional Awareness. So in one of my last videos, I spoke about how housework and motherhood can feel overwhelming, especially for working women. And so perhaps, I suggested that we need to think about hiring help. But quite a few people asked why I didn't mention the husband and dividing the house chores between the husband and wife. And the reason why I didn't is because I wanted to make a separate episode addressing the modern relationship, because the topic is really quite complex. So throughout history, the gender roles have been primarily quite clear. So the husband works outside the house and brings in, the money. The wife works inside the house and takes care of the babies, and the food and so forth. But as society is evolving and becoming more egalitarian, the roles of gender are no longer clearly defined like they used to be. So now many of us are forced to renegotiate what the responsibilities and duties are. So before, we would just fulfill the roles that were given to us without really thinking twice about it. So I'm a woman, this is what I do. You're a man, and this is what you do. But now we have to try and figure out how to manage these modern opportunities that most people did not have before. So even if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, in the past, people, especially women, spend all their energy meeting the bottom three needs: safety, belonging, and other physiological needs. But now, especially in the Western world, we believe that we deserve to become self-actualized, that we deserve to reach our full potential. In general, we believe that life is more about self-fulfillment and accomplishments. And that's actually possible, and even for women, because the lives of women have dramatically changed. And that's not just because we're challenging the patriarchy, although that's one of the reasons. The other reason is because of technology, right? Like contraception. So before, your grandmother did not have access to fertility control, and she didn't have control over when she got pregnant and how many babies she had, and she just didn't have control over her body like the women of today do. And we have access to other technologies as well, like the dishwasher and washing machine. And women used to spend hours before washing their clothes and hanging them to dry, and the whole thing took so much longer than it does now. And so now women have opportunities to contribute to the workforce that they didn't have before, and this is something that only started a couple of decades ago. And so we're all sort of struggling to figure out if it's worth it and how to make it work as well. So in this video, there's so many points that we could discuss, but the point that I'm still trying to make is that what happens to the traditional responsibilities of the woman, like cooking and cleaning and all those other necessities, although I said it doesn't take as much time as it used to, but it still takes a lot of time. So what do we do about that? Do men have to now take on traditional female roles? Do you outsource most of it so that you can both meet the higher end needs like self-actualization? Do you prefer to take the traditional roles of husband and wife? There's just so many questions here, and because what marriage looked like has changed so much, each one of us has to now sit down and figure it out for ourselves. So this video really isn't about tricks and tips, because it's much more complicated than that. And so I just wanted to make a video highlighting how the rules of the game are changing, and it's not so obvious anymore. And so I hope each family gets to sit down and figure out how they're going to make it work for them. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next Wednesday for another episode of Emotional Awareness. Take care. Bye.